morning, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone, for our Color of the Year Color Trend series. Good morning, Lisa and Carissa from LC Design Company. Do you guys refer to yourselves as LC Design Co., LC Design Company?
We usually say LC Design Co.
Yeah. LC, see, that's what I said, and then somebody corrected me. They're like, Kelly, Co. is short for company. So,
but it's just, yeah, just Co is what we say for the most part. But
we like to refer to
it
as Team LC, which is what I always call it.
I love it. Yeah. Now, you guys recently, actually, I don't know how recently it was, but you recently did a rebrand of your company. So what was your company called before?
LC Home Solutions.
Yeah, so that was the business name for, I think, only less than 2 years. We really just, got our niche market, and we just felt home solutions was too vague. And yeah, so LC Design Co. was born.
Yeah.
I love it. So now I know we're here to talk about, color trends. Benjamin Moore launched their 2020 Color of the Year, which, color never really changes, but every single year we get super excited to see what the forecast colors are going to be. Before getting into that, though, I know a lot of people that are tuning in already know about you guys because we all follow you on Instagram, and I think I'm your Instagram stalker because I love everything that's on there. I'm always just like, that looks so beautiful. But there might also be some people tuning in that have not met you guys before. And so I don't think that you both originally started in this industry. So maybe tell us a little bit about how LC Design Co. came into being. How did you guys get your start?
So I started as a public health inspector, worked for the government for only a couple years. It just wasn't really my thing, and I couldn't foresee myself doing it for 35 plus years. And I know when Carissa tells her story, we kind of have a little bit of a similar background in this, but we flipped and we renovated our own respective homes. And that kind of got this whole passion started. And we were sitting over lunch one day at Milestones, and we were just talking about, oh my goodness, like, is this what life is? Just that 9 to 5 grind, and we just don't love it. What are we gonna do? And that's kind of how it was born.
Yep. Don't really have too much to add. It's a pretty similar story coming from me. I guess the real kind of brain spark came when I had a real estate agent friend of mine inquire about me staging some homes for her. And so that's kind of where the introduction to turning the passion that we had in doing it for our own homes into maybe a business. Mm-hmm. And that's why originally I'm happy that you brought up the name change, because the Home Solutions, we kind of encompassed a lot more. It was staging homes for people or showcasing homes, which we still do for a very minor select few realtors that require it of us. But overall, it started out as Home Solutions on a wide scale, and then really honed into the design work that we're doing now. And yeah, that was kind of the big moment. We were at Milestones having lunch, and turned into a business.
Yeah. So we joined not joined, but we took a diploma program online from out west, and just kind of, really, I guess, perfected those skills that we maybe also didn't know going in, just so we could, provide the best services for our clients. But a lot of it is self-taught as well. I mean, experiences, I think what has helped us over the years, you just learn so much.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it's so interesting because there's that like on the job learning, and then there's the book learning, right? So if you had to take a split, like, is it 50-50 kind of learning, or would you say most of it has been learned on the job in real projects?
Most of it on the job.
Yeah.
I mean, you have some skills, you learn certain programs, so that's more, 100% book learning and time spent on your computer and taking courses. But when it comes to design work, I think experience almost 100%, I feel like. I mean, there's certain rules that you know, always go back to and strive to follow, but I would say mostly experience is how we've learned so much over the last almost 5 years now, which is crazy.
It's super interesting. I always just love how you guys got started, because I think that there's probably so many people sitting at home this morning, like that 9 to 5, if that's, is this what all it's going to be? And unfortunately for a lot of us, the answer is yes, right? So at least we're lucky to work in an industry that is so much fun and is always changing. I wanted to talk about the home staging, because I think that that is how a lot of us got to know you in the beginning, home staging. Don't you find it interesting that when we want to sell our houses, we invest in making them so beautiful? I know I've only sold one house in my life, and we staged it. And I remember thinking to myself, why didn't I do this for myself when I was living in this house? Like, why? So I think it is just such a great like genesis and transition into doing it, not just for that, you know, that photo shoot and that minute of fame on MLS, and actually bringing it into people's homes for the long term. So congratulations on transitioning for that. So Alcine Design Co., you guys are super busy. I want to also kind of ask about, because it's something that I know about, but I don't know if the world at large knows, you guys have got a pretty exciting project that you are working on in addition to designing people's houses.
Yes.
Want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we actually have a ton on the go right now. But the big thing that you're referring to is we're actually designing the 2021 Kinsman home. So we're really excited about starting that project. And we can't wait to unveil it to everybody. We've already had a few meetings just to kind of get the ball rolling. We're still in the design of the actual building structure itself, not just the interiors and furnishings and that kind of stuff. But yeah, the ball's already rolling, and it's going to be super fun.
Congratulations. I think you guys must be really excited about that. It's going to be exciting to see. I know that 2020 was a really tough year. There's a lot of charities that rely on support from the Kinsmen, and it, you know, having that delayed, I know would have had a really big impact on everybody. So it's going to be exciting to see them, you know, start that charity back up, because it's always just such a core part of the community.
Definitely.
You know, yeah. So color trends. So just to let everybody know, during following up on the call, we are going to be posting a link to the trends palette on the website, posting a link to your palette on the barrydownepaint.com website as well, because we're always trying to share like what your favorites are. I have some of them in my hand. I ran and grabbed them from the chip display. And then also, I guess we'd just love to invite, if people have, you know, specific questions or anything they want to post into the comments, we can pop in there and reply to them kind of like as we're going via comments. So by all means, anybody watching, feel free to post any comments in there. And thanks so much for tuning in. I know it's, you know, Saturday morning. Where are you guys right now?
We're in my basement right now.
Yeah. It sounds so much cooler when you refer to it as HQ.
Yeah, HQ.
HQ. I love it. Well, I'm at Barrydowne Paint HQ also, because I live in Azilda and my Wi-Fi is not great, and I wanted to be able to grab all of the color chips, and there's no better place than actually in the paint store. So
for sure.
No, this is cool. Okay, let's talk about color trends.
Yes.
My first question for you, do you guys believe in color trends?
Yes and no when it comes to me. I think there's that core color palette that is classic and not trendy, and it will stand the test of time no matter you use it in 2020 or 2035. It'll always be beautiful. And then there's the fun colors that I think are, you know, more easily interchangeable in certain rooms. So it allows for both.
Ditto.
100%
ditto.
Yeah. And I think you'll see from the color palette that we selected for our color trends, a little bit more classic, a little bit more just user-friendly for long-term, you know, not something that you'll have on your wall for 6 months to a year. You know, people, you know, invest thousands of dollars to get their house painted, and a lot of the time they don't want to pick something that they may not like in a year. So
yeah, it's so true. Painting your house it's expensive to do, especially if you are hiring somebody. We just did Holly's room, and, you know, obviously Matt, Holly and I, we painted it ourselves. And at the end of the day, I was like, you know what? Painting, it adds up, you know? Would you guys agree that it's probably one of the cheapest ways to transform the whole look?
Yes.
You know, you always hear that where people are like, oh, paint's the easiest. And I'm thinking, well, you got to put it on. It's not always the easiest, but.
I mean, in the grand scheme of, you know, full renovations, yes, paint's probably the easiest. I mean, you could, you know, change some decor, but I don't really know if it'll, I mean, yes, you can get a
like pillows and throws for some seasonal changes.
Yeah. But to change the whole look.
The whole feel, paint's the way to do that. Impactful.
That's awesome. So, they launched the Color Trends color.
Yes.
Color of the year, which is always the one that becomes the most famous, right? Aegean teal.
Yes.
What are your early thoughts? Some people love it. Some people hate it. What do you guys think?
Not our favorite. I mean, I think there's a time and place for it to look great. But you know, I was a little bit surprised at it, quite honestly.
Me too. So before, if you were guessing what the color of the year was going to be, what was your guess?
Well, for me, even something that was more of like an earth tone, like one of the greens that I have selected for our color palette, an earthier like Louisburg green, or just I was really just expecting more of like an earth tone.
Yeah, and I kind of had a feeling I feel like we're seeing a huge movement right now with even like Instagram influencers with those kind of terracotta colors. I find those are having a huge moment right now. So I kind of was thinking that it might be something closer to to what was in
Potter's clay
that was in the trends. I thought that would have been the winner. That would have been the one out front, the show pony.
Can't really tell from the lighting, but
the show pony, I love it. We've all been commenting just how much we love Potter's clay. We thought that this one was one of the colors in the collection where we were thinking, okay, we could see it. It could have been a color of the year. That kind of like, and I even thought almost like a saddle brown type of color, you know, like something like that. And so it's really interesting. Now, you know, on social media, we were able to get some like early feedback from people in that palette, because they launched 12 colors. In the palette, what do you think are going to become, we already know Potter's clay is one that you guys like. What do you think are going to be some colors people can actually use? Like, these are going to be early winners where, okay, I can see my clients really loving these colors.
Well, I mean, an always classic, which I feel like has been around for a while, is the muslin.
Absolutely.
That's been around for a while.
Yeah, it's such a pretty beige. And actually, I want to ask you about this, okay? Because this is one of the only beiges that's in the color. I want to make sure I'm holding up muslin. Because I also thought that it could have been a beige, like a pretty, I actually guessed that it was going to be a yellow, right? And they do have two yellowy colors in here, but they aren't the ones I would have put in there. If you had to forecast tomorrow, you had to pick a neutral that you were going to paint today that would look and feel on trend. Let's push the 10 year, let's push to 12 years, right? Would you be picking a gray or a beige?
Definitely not a gray.
Definitely not a gray, right?
We really want to steer people away from that constantly. It's what people feel like is safe almost, and that's what if they're not hiring someone, that's what they're putting on their walls. It just seems like on their floors.
They're putting on their floors. They're putting it everywhere.
So
because I feel like for a long time, like maybe like our parents' generation, it was cream on the walls. Everything was that kind of beige moment. And then it went dark, and now everybody kind of still assigns gray to a modern, when really, like you say, if it's going to last 10 years, I think in 5 years that gray is going to start to look dated, because it just had such a moment. That moment is gone. We need to move forward.
So
I'm so glad you guys are saying that.
Yeah.
You know,
in the beige train for sure. But I mean, within reason. I mean, there's hundreds of beige tones and different undertones. You have gray undertones and taupees and taupees. Taupees.
It's a word.
Yeah, but you know, it's just, if you're not going to go with one of the shades of white, then you know, and you have medium toned woods, more of like a maple on your floor and furniture, which a lot of people do. A lot of people have medium toned wood furniture, and the off-white beiges just look so rich with that, and just, it's so classic. Yeah.
I think it's so interesting. I'm glad we just used this early opportunity to murder gray.
Yeah.
Just because you're right. For a lot of people, maybe haven't undergone a change. You know, well, maybe not in clothing, but you know what I mean. I love how you put that. Gray is synonymous with modern.
Yeah.
But you know, if you scroll through, like if I scroll through your Instagram feeds of other people's design I really admire, it's never a gray that makes me stop and go, ooh, you know, I'm never looking at that. And so I do think it's important to kind of share that, because I think that, especially in our market, we've got to look beyond some of the grays. And I love that, because muslin is a great example. Yes. And this is a classic. This color has been around the block.
Yes,
right?
it has been.
It's been around the block.
It really has been. And there's so many different ways to use it in so many different areas of your home, not even just on walls, but, you know, trim and indoors and cabinetry. And it's so versatile and beautiful. So we love it.
The winner.
Okay.
Yes.
Winner. So muslin's a winner. That's great. Any other colors that really stand out to you in the collection?
A couple of the darker ones, I will say, Amazon Soil and Silhouette are two really colors that we really do like.
You know what's interesting is, you know, on Instagram, I never really know how to use Instagram very well, but on stories where you can kind of like pull the little heart face smiley on our stories, these colors were all the way at the extreme. Yeah. I was voting. I know I probably shouldn't have voted, but I was voting, and I could see like it gives you the average answer. And you're right, Amazon Soil and Silhouette, people loved these picks.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're amazing. Now these are dark.
Yes.
But like, how would you guys are known for very light, airy designs, but then also lots of contrast. So if somebody's looking at these colors and thinking, okay, how do I use a color this dark? What are your thoughts?
Commitment.
I love it.
You have to go for it, I think. That's my thing. If you're going to do a dark color, don't show that you're scared to do it. 86 the accent wall and go for it.
For sure. And I'm just going to build on that, because you won't ever really see us doing accent walls. We just don't want to pull focus to one wall in a room. We want to balance out the color throughout. And there's so many different ways you can do that. By using darker colors, like I said before, on your trim, on your doors, on the crown molding, doing about board and batten 2/3 up the wall, doing that color and then having the rest a white, or doing the ceiling and the remaining 2/3 of the wall in that color and lower half a different color. There's just so many different ways to do it, but by having it balanced throughout the room instead of just having one wall be distracting almost. Not to be, you know, put down
Lisa has also murdered the accent wall.
Yeah, the accent wall died today, and so did Gray. Done. It's so interesting.
Choice. We want people to think outside the box a little bit. You know, what else could I paint this dark color without, you know, just committing to only one wall? Because, you know, balance, everyone.
And you look scared.
But,
you look scared when you do one wall. Gotta go
it's true.
It.
Yeah, and then I'm in agreement. And sometimes there's that whole thing of like, when you do choose one wall, what is the accent wall? Like, you can end up really confused, and sometimes it gets like the wrong wall becomes the accent, right? So that's interesting. Yeah. No, we love these two picks. These were two that we were really excited about, and we think that these will be ones that people will use. Any others?
I will say, unexpected, I really do like the Chestertown buff.
Ooh, okay.
Gold and yellow.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be yellow, the color of the year. I thought for sure.
I mean, I would probably never use this on a wall, I'm going to reference an Instagram famous design blog, and that is Chris Loves Julia. And they recently did cabinetry for their kids' toys in their basement in something similar to this, and I thought it was so sharp. And they complemented it with a vertical stripe wallpaper, and it just looked so classic still and fun and young for the kids. But so when I saw this, it just immediately made me think of that, and I really liked it. So
that's awesome. I agree with you, and it's funny because I think we have there's a few posts on, I don't know if we have them on Facebook or Instagram, where it's yellow cabinetry, because I love that you mentioned, because I find when we saw that color and some of these darker colors, right away I'm thinking, okay, that's a great color for like a bathroom vanity or for built-ins or for an island, you know?
Yeah.
I remember once somebody telling me that yellow is the most universally unlikable color. Mm-hmm. And I will tell you, based on the highly accurate Instagram smiley face draggy polls, that the yellows, even though I picked yellows were the ones that got like average answer was right in the middle. So I don't know if our market is fully ready to adopt it. I just don't know.
Yeah.
Beyond like
sure. And I
cushions.
think maybe people think as well that they're associating with putting that yellow on their walls, right? When there's other places to use it. So, but yeah, definitely the yellow, not for
and
the
you
wall,
have to be careful with what tones you mix it with. So I just feel like yellow can go wrong easily. So if it's got to put in the right place and next to the right thing. I think when you put it next to the right thing, it could be just the sunshine of the room.
Yeah.
But not something less flattering than sunshine.
Now, I want to roll it back quickly because there was a color in the color trend, Foggy Morning.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm going to hold it up against Atrium White because it kind of shows this color looks a lot like last year's color of the year, First Light. Did you guys like First Light last year? Do you like pink?
Was that like light pinky color?
Light pink.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like it. I just
our last office was pink.
Yeah, but
really?
Yes. Well, it was technically an off-white that
had pinky undertones.
So I don't know, Foggy Morning. I just feel like it's not committing either way. You know, it's
pretty. It's pretty like that's why I have to hold it up against a white because otherwise you wouldn't be able to tell what it is. You know,
I mean,
you can't tell.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm flirting with it. I kind of like it. I don't hate it.
Do you know what I find is interesting? Because I think in the year before, they snuck a pink in with Head Over Heels was just part of the collection. And then they went to First Light, then Foggy Morning. And this was a color that we have a lot of really good feedback about. Mm-hmm. And you know how it takes a few years for trends to take hold? Mm-hmm. I'm just wondering if like the pale pink, dusty, I don't know how to describe this color. Are we ready? Like, is pink now mainstream?
I feel like pink is mainstream.
Pink is mainstream.
It depends on where you're using it. Like, I wouldn't personally use First Light or Foggy Morning in my main living area.
No.
That's just not.
No, right?
You know?
Yeah, I agree.
I don't even know if I would do a nursery in either of those colors, you know? So I don't even,
I'm going to say Lisa's not a pink. She's not on the pink fan. Tossing it. We're not going to get her on the pink thing. Pink bandwagon.
I mean, yeah, but it has its place.
Yeah, it definitely has its place. I think I tend to be more okay with it, I feel like, than this one. But no, I like it. I definitely like it. I feel like you could pop that in a nursery or a young girl's bedroom and it could be beautiful.
For a couple of years now, we've always kept a collection of kind of your go-to palette, you know, colors that you guys really love. 2 questions that I, mentioned to you in advance of the call that I was really curious on was, whether or not you guys have a kind of a different vision for color trends, both kind of your palette of color trends, but then also regionally. So should our region have different color trends, or are color trends universal? Is this the type of thing where this palette should be universal for everywhere, or do you feel that within our market we have different undercurrents and different trends or different colors that should be on trend right now? know it's two questions bundled in a little bundle.
Yeah, I really think that the color trends that come out on a yearly basis are they're kind of fun suggestions for people regardless of where you are. So I would still stick with, I think, the universal color trends. I mean, they're not something you have to ever go with, right? But it's interesting to see what other markets are doing. Maybe I don't know where these markets technically are, where they're getting these colors, but I honestly am always surprised every year. I'm always surprised, which, you know, is interesting, and it's a good thing to kind of bring in other colors, like the I think it's the Chestertown buff, which, you know, I never would have really ever thought about before until I saw it, and now it's kind of like, okay, well, maybe one day we could use it if a client was open to it. So I don't know. And then I don't know if regionally what our color trends would technically be, because I feel like most people do gravitate towards the grays. So maybe it's a good thing that we're having another market, you know, give us, you know, suggestions for other things that, you know, are kind of out of people's comfort zones.
No, that's cool. Now, we're going to be updating your palette that you have on our website, and you sent a list in advance. I love some of the colors in your new palette. So what are your favorite? We'll be putting them on the website, so everybody's going to be able to look at the palette in its entirety. But essentially, we asked you, okay, what are your kind of trend colors and colors that you think people should be looking at and considering for their projects? So what are some of your favorites? Because I have some favorites from this collection that you've put together.
If you want.
Sure. So we'll start with our color of the year pick for us.
Oh, the spoiler. That's like the grand finale. I love this color.
We're going to start with that. That way we can talk about it and go bold.
Yeah.
So this is your color of the year pick.
Yes. Midnight blue.
Midnight blue.
And the reason that it's our color of the year pick is it is such a, I don't say universal color, but it can be used in so many different ways and just look absolutely amazing. And another reason we wanted to really highlight that for us, especially coming up, we've had a little pause with COVID and a delay of some of our new posts and new things being featured on Instagram and on our website. But we have so many projects coming up that Midnight Blue has been utilized in, and in each and every project, it's been utilized in a completely different way.
Ooh, awesome.
So we have,
exciting.
Yes, it's very exciting. We have one room that's literally every single inch of that room is painted in Midnight Blue. So you want to see bold, you want to see what it looks like everywhere, really committing, no accent.
We're talking like
ceiling, trim, walls,
fireplace, everything.
Great.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, we have another house that it's actually an accent ceiling. And then we actually have a full kitchen as well, coming soon to our website.
You know,
I love it. And actually, we should have mentioned.
Goes into actually going and staging and photographing places. Yeah. It's honestly just, it's finding time to even do those things. It's hard. It's crazy. So one day we'll show
so they're going to be coming soon to you. So we really wanted to showcase just how beautiful that color is. How many, and that's the thing, everyone here that we've pitched it to, everyone that was looking for like that dark, moody color has just loved it. Yeah. We have never, anytime we've used it in something that we're showing to a client, there's never been any type of pause or negative feedback on it. It's just always been a winner. And so for us, our color of the year, Midnight Blue.
And I have to tell you, so it's Benjamin Moore 1638 Midnight Blue. When I just read Midnight Blue and I kind of went to that section, the color chips, it's a very complex color. Like it has a really interesting undertone. You know, a lot of times people's default kind of dark blue will be Hail Navy. I think it's HC 154. That's a real default. And when you compare this color to Hail Navy, which is a color a lot of people might be familiar with, it's what we call a complex color. Like it's got a lot of undertones to it. I don't want to say it's greeny, but it's like a really deep inky blue. Like it's really beautiful.
Yeah, I want to say like, well, we're complex ladies.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing that's so amazing about it, because we're using it in different homes and it looks different in every home. You know, the kitchen that we recently did, you know, there's so much natural light in there that some angles it almost looks, it has like some grays undertones to it, and you don't really see the greens in it that much, but it's just, I mean, it's hard to get that in a photo, but yeah, it's such a rich color. I just, when I see a color and it just can be described as rich, like that's when you know it's good.
Yep.
You know,
I couldn't agree more. I love it. I think this is a great pick. This is going to be a very popular. Actually, I hate to say it, but I think if we did like a head-to-head of like, you know, multi-million, possibly billion-dollar company pick and LC design company pick, like if we put this on a vote, I'm like, I think I know which way this would go down. You know, so great pick. Everybody's gonna love that. What are some other colors in this collection? I've got them all in front of me here. There's a nice stack of color chips.
So because we generally go with the more neutral, like whiter creams, we wanted to add a few little pops of color in there that I feel, you know, people might not truly expect that, you know, we like color. Which we do. But for me right now, there's a few, like I'm loving Louisburg green right now.
I love this color too. Beautiful.
On people's exteriors. So using it on front doors and using it in different aspects of people's exteriors. But I love this. It's just an earthier tone, and I gravitate towards that. I pretty much just did my basement trim in something similar to this. Not quite Louisburg green, but it's pretty close. And then we selected this one today. We actually haven't used it, but Tea Room was one of the ones that we really loved. And I think that's another one where you just kind of have to go all in on. So doing room,
I think that this is a color that we wouldn't have been surprised to see in a color trends palette, like in a national color. Like I feel like it's almost a combination between Potter's Clay and First Light. Like this is a very usable, very hard to describe this color. How would you describe it?
It's funny because in different lights, in a natural light, it looked more pinky, but down here, it has kind of that earthier, like terracotta, orangey tone to it. So, it's such a beautiful, beautiful color. And it's funny because moving on from that one, I had selected Dinner Party, which was color trend of the year, I think 2 years ago or something.
Do you want to know what? At first, I thought that this is better because 2 or 3 years ago, it was Caliente, which was a red that's like a few chips over, but we've often joked, we're like, why didn't they pick Dinner Party? Because this is a gorgeous red.
Right.
And if it's possible for a red to be neutral, like it's a very easy.
Give it to you.
It's not jarring, you know? This is a great color.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Another go all in on, you know?
Go all in.
So
Feeling, trim, everything.
Yeah. Carissa, what are your favorites? I think these are still the color trends.
Yeah. We got lots of lovelies here.
Yeah. We didn't have the chip, unfortunately, for Midnight Blue, but I'll have to go to Barrydowne and get it.
Is it lovely? Is it Maritime White?
Yeah.
Should have
love that color.
And we have more of the neutrals. We have Maritime White, Chantilly Lace, which is a go-to, always classic. Featured behind us. Stone Hearth.
Oh, I really like Stone Hearth. I think that, you know, in terms of like not gray, not beige, this is a very warm, and like kind of going back to what you were saying about timeless and classic.
Yes.
Very timeless and classic.
And that because it looks so different in different light. It's crazy how it changes. It's a weird chameleon color almost, but it's beautiful.
Yeah. I was going to ask you a question, Carissa, because I know you mentioned Chantilly Lace, Maritime White. You also had Swiss coffee in there, which is really beautiful.
So Lisa has Chantilly Lace behind us. my living room if we were filming there, not quite HQ, because I have small children, so it looks like a bomb went off 90% of the time. But my living room is Swiss coffee.
Love it. So, okay, so we're looking, we've got this lineup of neutrals, and then you have the stone hearth. If somebody was looking to repaint their house in a neutral, would you be going stone hearth, or would you be going with one of these whites? What is more neutral?
Just as a blanket statement? One
blanket.
Of the yeah, it depends. But
it's one of those things, like, if someone had a lot, again, the medium toned wood floor, so they had wood trim, and the Swiss coffee is very rich and looks so classic against like a maple, or not a maple, like a walnut type stain. And then for something like, for me, my basement, I wanted to bring color in other places. Like I said, I painted my trim a different color, a darker color. So my walls are Chantilly Lace. And it's still, it's a warm white. You're not getting that stark coldness from it. It's just a classic, classic white that a lot of people tend to use, our clients, because they want to just,
It's so pretty.
It's a blended white. It's so nice.
Sometimes people are afraid of white, though. A lot of people are afraid to bite the bullet and go to a white. It's so, I have a theory on it, and I don't know if you guys have experienced it, but I feel like if we've grown up living in the colored house, it's painted always in a color with some depth, and there's color, or even grays or beiges everywhere. When you paint a space white, don't you just feel like it's just it's an instantaneous wow factor.
It is.
Right?
For sure.
And I feel like people don't believe yet, but it's the whites are kind of the most wow factor, if that's possible.
And people, they will say, well, it's so sterile looking, or they said, no, you know how many shades of white there are?
Yeah.
And there's some, obvious classics, but there's so many different shades and undertones that will, create warmth in a space. And, you invoke feeling from other pieces too. You don't need to have color everywhere on the walls.
Yeah.
But that's okay if people want that as well. I mean, we can make it work. It's just, white's not something to be afraid of, or,
And it just allows something else in the room to be the hero piece, right? The thing that really stands out, that catches your eye.
Yeah.
When you have that white, clean backdrop.
Yeah.
I love it.
It's easier to change up the style too if you have white.
Yeah, because you don't have to commit. You're not committed to anything on the walls. So it's pillows and blankets and things like that can change the drop of a hat whenever you feel like it.
Home sense, here we come.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Choice. Carbon copy.
I love this color.
Yes.
Now this is this is a dark color.
Yeah.
Right. Very dark. How would you use this color?
So
all in again?
We have gone through so many blacks.
Yeah.
We're tried and tested.
Yeah.
Is that the
yes,
term?
tried and tested.
Yeah.
But so many different blacks. We've done fireplace walls and surrounding millwork in black. We've done exterior doors and garage doors. Currently, my exterior garage door and my exterior doors are all black. Unfortunately, not carbon copy because I committed to something earlier on, but it's still good. It's Black Panther, and it's still a great, or no, Black Satin.
Yep.
Black
Satin. That's a great black. Yeah.
There's a Black Panther or Panther or something.
I think there is. Yeah.
But again, a lot of people are painting their interior doors black, or their window trim black. Carbon copy is nice because it's not a solid black. You still have it's broken up by a touch of gray, I would say.
Yeah, and it's warm.
Yeah.
Because, at its core, black can be very blue.
Yeah.
Black can be incredibly blue. And so one of the first things that struck me about this color was that it is actually just, if it's possible for a black to be warm, this is a warm black, without being brown.
Very true, because I have used Wrought Iron, which has a lot of blue in it. I've used Black Panther. It was another one that has a lot of blue in it. And then Black Satin it's a little bit more, pulled back, but still has some blue. But yeah, this one is just a good And onyx as well. I really like onyx.
Mm-hmm.
Onyx is a good one. Yeah,
Love it.
we're adding colors to the trends now.
Yeah, it's like just like physical. Like, luckily, there's no cap on your colors that you can add into your collection. So, yeah, there's no capacity there. We'll just keep adding to it. This is really great. Now, I didn't ask. Now, I know that you guys are doing this. We didn't talk about it enough, but you guys are going to be doing a type of giveaway soon, right, on your social feeds.
Yes. And that.
Yeah. Can we talk about that? I know you probably haven't done it yet, but can we talk about it? Because it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So we're doing a giveaway. And it's gonna be
I was like, I feel really bad spilling somebody else's surprise.
No. So yeah, we had the idea a little while ago, and now we finally have the time to pull it all together. So we're going to be doing a giveaway that involves you guys, and also Northern Lilies, which is a super cute little company where they make face masks, they make hair ties, beanies. So you could order like full sets that all match. You can match your face mask to your scrunchie, and then some of our services as well, kind of all in there. So it's kind of like the ultimate DIYers get started. You got to pull your hair up, you got to keep it out of your face, you got to get your paint, and you got to know where that paint's going.
We may
I love it.
include a bottle of wine in
Yeah,
there as well. Just to
because paint balls is always more fun with a cocktail.
I don't paint without it, so yeah. There are witnesses that will attest.
Start with the trim then, I guess, right? Because you don't want that to get
the edging,
the edging to get wonky.
Yeah.
The more fun you have.
Oh, that's too funny. This is great. So I just love it. I love this palette. We're going to get the website updated, so we'll get the links updated with this. We really think, somebody could sneak in your Color Trends palette for Benjamin Moore's, and it would be just as believable and very, very on point. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I know. Well, it's so interesting because every time they launch these colors of the year, like, sometimes it's like a 50-50 split. There is extreme horror, shock, and awe at how terrible. And then there's people who are like, yeah, we can use this. This is doable, right? So it's interesting how it's always 50-50. I'm kind of with you guys. I don't dislike AG and teal, but when I was looking at it, I was like, I don't know if it's like color of the year material. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
It looks so different because we've never seen it other than on a paint chip, right? Mm-hmm. So we, Pinterest and Googled it, and it does look so different in different lights. So when we were thinking, well, maybe we can use it in a room that doesn't get a lot of natural light, so you get more of the moodier side of it instead of the picture that they had showcased. I think it was a lower, the lowers on a
yes,
which was a little bright for my taste.
Yeah, we do need to get more photos because, and also this color's been around the block. We used to actually have it up in our Long Lake Road store like 10 years ago, and it looks really, really beautiful. So we have used it, and I have to say there are some spaces that look absolutely beautiful with it. It's one of those ones where I think we do need to see it in action and get more photos out there of it. And kind of see where it goes. And you know what, I always start off the year with the color of I always start off going, and then it grows on me, right? The colors go on me. As I see more and more people starting to do projects with it, I start to like develop more confidence in the color, right? But yeah, so now, quick question. So if people are interested in learning more about you guys and besides going to our website and seeing your color palettes and links there, how do people find you?
So they can head to our website at www.lcdesignco.com or our Instagram, lc.designco.
Yeah.
I love it. I do have to say that I think that following your Instagram is just very kind of like ongoing inspiration. Like I'm always like, always pops up and I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. You guys need to you have to get more photos posted on there.
Well, they're about to come in hot.
I love it.
Yeah, like I said, we had that little blip where the COVID pause.
It just delayed everything so much. So a room was half done. We were waiting for several months, and we're still waiting for even a room that was started in January. a product was back ordered until mid-December. So it's just, it's just been a year, you know?
Yeah. The 2020 sound effect.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's and that must be kind of challenging, right? I mean, these projects need to go, and I can imagine that this is probably one of the most challenging years. It really must test your sourcing abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's been hard for that reason, but then also people were spending so much time at home. They really got to figure out what they wanted to change. So so I find it really had a nice rev up when everything opened up again, which I'm sure people were like, I'm gonna do a paint project. So I'm sure you guys had some of that as well once kind of the initial.
Even our own selves, you know, when you're in your house and you're spending so much time kind of looking, and now our homes are our offices, they're the classroom, they're your headquarters, and I find it's really put the emphasis where even for us at home, those projects that we put off, I was like, oh, why haven't we done this yet? We've got to get this done. And it kind of inspired us, that little bit of extra time, to just say, okay, yeah, it was Holly's bedroom. Holly's bedroom got the redo. But yeah, it's just a lot of fun too. And it reminded us, I mean, we live in a log home, so there's not a lot of painted wall. And it just reminded us wow, the impact, right? You paint the color, it's great. So yeah, but thank you so much to both of you guys. This has been really, really great. And thanks for everybody tuning in, and we'll catch up with you guys. We're going to get these up on the website.
Sounds
Wonderful.
good.
Okay, have a great day, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.